Dr. Go. Let's talk about the extremities, the head, the hands. We got to keep those warm because they get cold first.
Absolutely, and even though we will have some hand warmers and things, that is in no way going to be enough for you. We all probably have our traditional little gloves that we wear driving, going from the car to the building, things like that, but it's not going to be enough. You can put them in your pockets, but you may want to think, number one, that having mittens are better for your fingers because they keep your fingers together, but you also want to think about layering. So if you have multiple gloves, especially if they're not necessarily really good gloves, wearing more than one pair. So I can easily fit this glove on and then put this bigger glove on top of it. And then what's also nice about having gloves like this is that you'll notice they do have the waterproofing, the nylon that's going to keep your hands dry, and mine are so fancy they actually have a spot for a hand warmer.
Very nice.
So that's what I'm going to do with my hands to keep them warm. I also just have a regular hat, nothing fancy, just to keep my head warm, but as I mentioned in an earlier video, I often wear a middle layer between my base and my outer coat that has a hood, and then I also want to have scarves on, so you can have the traditional picket line scarf that we have made.
Red for Ed.
Red for Ed. You also may want to consider bringing your own knit one, something that's going to keep you extra warm. And then if you want to be extremely fancy and have an extremely fancy red scarf, you know, there is no reason that there cannot be something fashionable on the line. So think ahead.
All right.
Okay.
I will agree with Dr. Go. Layering gloves is great. These are the nice warm gloves I wear for very cold weather. The one downside of these, they're warm, they're insulated, they're waterproof. Sometimes they're just too warm and my hands begin to overheat. So having a second pair of gloves that I can sort of pull these out and have a lighter pair of gloves on, I can put these back on a little bit later, always a good way to go. In terms of what to put on your head, you've got the traditional knit cap, keeping your ears warm. If temperatures get a little colder or if it gets windy or you want something that's going to give you some protection against rain.
I think it's already so rainy.
You can go, you know, full hunting hat here, complete with water repellent stuff, keep you nice and dry. Now, if you're not a scarf person, you might want to have a neck gaiter, something you can just sort of slide on here to keep your neck warm. And again, if it's cold and windy, you can get a relatively inexpensive mask to keep your face and your nose from freezing. I used to walk to school when it was 0 degrees and I'd always have this on and my neck gaiter. Never had a problem. And of course at the end, Red for Ed.
Absolutely, and that being said, it probably, whether it's snowing or not, will have snow on the ground, which is very light out, and it can make your eyes a little sensitive, so you want to think about sunglasses. You also may want to think about an umbrella in case it's raining, hiking poles in case you need some additional assistance with stability, and then if you have, again, anything fashionable that's red, and you can fit it on over top, you may want to consider a jacket that's red, or, you know, a rain gear outfit that is also red. But that's because we are Red for Ed.